Hi, everyone. Welcome to World Meets You. These are my two friends and guests
Roxy. Sabrina.
for our part 2 of our interview. Thank you for coming back again. Last time we had limited time. Now we have slightly more time. Thank you.
Thank you.
What did we talk about last time?
It was kind of getting to like the meaty, greedy about dance, what dance means to us. We kind of did like a little bit of comparison between like telling a story versus entertainment,
Right.
like with dance. That's
Okay.
where we kind of left off.
Yeah, we were talking about how like, Broadway was like really big for entertainment. I guess you have to, if you wanted like real heart-wrenching stories, you should go to like off Broadway or something like that. What's your guys' opinions on like Broadway musicals and dancing versus like the smaller theaters and stuff like that?
I think everyone has their taste of what they want or what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Actually, I went to see a Broadway show recently. It was called Girl from the North Country.
Girl from North Country.
And that one didn't really have a lot of dancing per se. It was still a musical though. Music was really good because they did most of the lyrics by Bob Dylan. But there was a little bit, probably towards the middle, where they actually included some dancing. But they trying to kind of keep it limited from the timeline, because this was like in the 1930s.
Right.
So you got like, after the Depression, you got poor America, they just trying to make a living,
Right.
how to make money, how to survive. So for them, the dancing portion wasn't as important. So I was able to, really appreciate that. They kind of like just kind of kept to that. But some other, musicals that they really do need that dancing portion to be very vibrant
Right.
and alive, so it can keep the audience very engaged, which is great if that's what they really are looking for. But if it's something that sort of like really out, that's not necessarily like Broadway per se, but it still has a story that's still very, meaningful. I think that's where, these like the smaller theaters are really trying to, especially now, trying to encourage those companies to come back so that they able to get those audiences back into those theaters, so that they're able to, get their stories out there. I think that's, start to see a little bit more of that happening right now, especially with the Joyce Theater. They've really been pushing, trying to get companies back. Even BAM in Brooklyn is trying to get those companies back in so they can really reach out to those communities to come back to dance.
But also too, in terms of the difference with a lot of the smaller companies, obviously Broadway is in very, high demand. Of course, even with the performers, they are performing the same show 8 times a week. So, how do you keep yourself to always like keeping it fresh and new? And for me, it's, I always like to go into the studio and try something new, and so like you're evolving and you're growing. That I feel like is more of like the entertainment. Okay, this is the show, we know that this is going to sell, so we're going to do it like every single time over and over again. But in the smaller theaters, it's like, yeah, we're experimenting things, we're trying to work on this new idea that we have and like trying to build on it, so you're going to get a small audience, and then probably, do it over for a number of years, and then eventually build it into a full production that you have. And then, they say, hey, like we want to put this, onto a Broadway stage. It's definitely, you can't say this is more important than the other, because it's definitely not. I would say it's just different.
My friend's dad said to me when I was very young, he said, if you have a gift for anything, it's your responsibility as a person to bring that gift to the world. Depending, right? If your gift is manslaughter, don't bring that to the world. But like for artistic things, that's what he was mostly talking about. Do you think that art is a responsibility that you should bring to the world? Or do you think it's something that you yourself as a person should do just because it's like who you are innate?
You go first.
Artists who really love what they do and they have a passion and talent for it, I think it is our responsibility to bring it out into the world, because if it wasn't for us, then who would be doing this work to, you know, bring joy into other people and for them to see, you know, live dance and feel something and, you know, make them curious and ask questions. You know, if we're doing it just for ourselves, then that is like a little bit selfish, I think. So, I mean, I think art is for definitely to share with everyone on all platforms, and it should be easily accessible for everyone to be able to participate, to watch, you know, because, you know, art is so important. Like, where would we be without art? Definitely our responsibility to keep going in our craft and share it with others.
I think that question could be a little bit tricky because there can be those people who don't necessarily really want to share because it's so private, and it's not until after they passed away and then someone decides to share their art and then all of a sudden it becomes big and major.
Right.
I think it's really depending on the individual, what you know, in their minds, how they want their art to be viewed. And maybe they just want to keep it within a certain community for them to appreciate. Yeah, so that I feel is with each person's, with their thoughts behind that. Now for myself, yes, I do feel the need to share and to give. And hopefully that person can reciprocate the same thing, and then this would be like a trickling effect. Almost like that film Pay It Forward.
Yeah.
Like that. I really like that concept of you trying to help people and you hoping those people will help the other people. So it's like that. Like you have like a seed of inspiration that hopefully that will, you know, grow its roots to those others, reach them so they can also put the seed and plant it, and then it reaches further into it. So that's what I kind of take from that question.
That was a good movie. Have you seen the movie?
I have not.
Oh!
It's here. Let's move it night. You two should watch it together. That's a good movie.
It is really good. It's really sad, but so good. I'm not spoiling it.
Yeah, don't say anything. But yeah, you should watch it.
I'll have to watch that.
It's so good. It's so nice. You said something interesting in your video about like the problems nowadays with art, and mostly with social media being such a huge influence and not entirely always in a positive way. And I was wondering if you could expand on that. And do you think that nowadays everything online seems to be more like a numbers game, like most clicks, more views, more likes and followers and all that kind of stuff? Like, how's that changed the world of dance?
Absolutely. In today's world, especially my generation, social media is everything, and people are just so obsessive over, you know, the amount of likes and followers. And I feel like in today's world, your success is determined by the amount of followers you have, which decides if you are, you know, someone who is famous or has like a large audience and profile. And I really just think that takes away from the intuitive art. If we're dancing because, oh my God, like all these people are watching me, you know, like I'm on camera, I need to, you know, like do something that I know like people would like. I think you really need to go back and ask yourself why you're really doing this, and if it's really coming from a true and honest place within yourself, or is it just because of, you know, this glitz and glam, you know, so you think you can dance like the world is watching me type of thing. And it's just so sad because I see, you know, like so many dancers that are, you know, like obsessing over, you know, like these choreographers, but meanwhile there are so many other like amazing choreographers that do not get the same praise as, you know, these other people that were on these platforms. It's almost like kind of just blinding and saying this is what dance is, and you know, that's how we have to be. But it's like, no, you're completely eliminating all of these other different important aspects of storytelling and process and being in a real, you know, community of people that, you know, you're able to share experiences with and talk to. It's just, yeah. I can go on and on about social media, so.
Oh, please, do you have anything else to say? You can.
Yeah, Roxy.
I think during COVID, like the huge part of COVID, when everyone was isolated,
Yeah.
they used the social media platform to be, hey, I'm still here. I'm still here in the world, even though you don't see me around, but I am still here. So people still need to feel that recognition, they still need to feel that importance,
Right.
that they still matter. And so they do it through the social media. Now, I also do feel, same as Sabrina, that it has taken a little bit too far into it. Now it's all about me, 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 me. Okay, that's great and all. You should appreciate yourself. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but also too, I don't want to see like what you cook every single night.
Right.
You know, I mean that's such a tricky thing. Like I don't feel like you need to promote yourself every single day just to make sure that people know that you still exist.
Right.
I don't think we need to make it that extreme, but we do, because we get bored as well. Even for myself, like I have to be careful myself of how much images I'm taking in from other people's lives.
Yeah.
And making sure I'm not comparing myself to them or comparing my success to their success. Because everyone has a very unique way of where they want to get to in life.
Right.
So for me, I like to post things, okay, like who am I being involved with? These type of things. Every once in a while, yeah, I might show a little something of myself, you know, but I don't do it all the time because I feel like that's not important to me. Now I'm like really starting to promote my massage business, so I'm also using that platform to say, hey, I'm a massage therapist. Maybe you need some well-being for yourself. And so that's what I'm trying to promote as well.
Yeah.
You know, the whole TikTok thing is like,
That was on my mind. I'm glad she said it because she read my mind.
Okay. Expand on this one.
I mean, I get it. They're trying to make something like having a fabulous time and you're doing this, you know, with your family. Okay, that's cute and all, but we already got other apps that's similar to that. You know, like what about Snapchat? Like everyone forgot about Snapchat? Is Snapchat still going on? Like we have all these different apps. Like how many more apps do we actually need? We don't need all that. No. But they're going to keep making it because people are consumers. We consume that. We need it for us to feel good about ourselves, so we're going to keep grabbing onto it. Just like the famous, you know, like Nike and Adidas and all these other things, all these brands that make us feel, oh yes, I'm somebody because I'm wearing these clothes.
Yep.
Man, I am somebody because I keep putting a video of myself doing this beautiful devil play up in, you know, 180, what do you call that, degrees? Is that degrees? Okay, yeah. Thank you. You know, like, okay, that's wonderful, but do you need to do that every single time? No, you don't. That's just my philosophy on that.
Tell me the links for your massage thing. I click right here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It's gonna be like right here, right now.
Right here.
It's right here. Click this.
It's right there. She's right amazing. Here. Do it. Do it right now. Right do here. It. You know you want it.
Right really. Do it. Anyways, so do you guys think that not inherently, but do you think it's possible that social media can corrupt art?
This is like tricky for me to say because, you know, social media is a way for even us to kind of just promote our performances and things.
True.
Because,
YouTube
you know,
ad.
a lot of people are on social media. So, you know, if they see it and, you know, it's just the easiest way for us to get our information out there. Same as Roxy was saying, if you are just posting every, you know, single day and just like making it more about you, then I definitely think it is corrupting the art a little bit because, you know, you have to be internal and vulnerable with your dancing. And even me, I feel a particular way if I'm sharing my most vulnerable self with the entire world. So I definitely think that there are some pros and cons to social media. You just have to be smart and strategic about how you're using it.
Now, there are some people who will use the social media in order to encourage people to give money. Some, I mean, there's some artists who use that as just another way of, you know, I'm a struggling artist, I do this type of work, and I really need your support.
Right.
So, you know, then there are those who are like, oh my gosh, yes, I really love your work, and yes, I want to help you. I want that, you know, for you to keep going, you know, with your art. But there are some others too who will, you know, use that, manipulated it to make more money. So you kind of have to have a discernment of, is this person really using it because they really in need of it, or is just like another income? Now, some people might take that that's not a bad thing, because, you know, we need to find other creative ways of making income or passive income or whatnot. But I kind of feel that's a little bit dishonest. So I wouldn't use that as, hey, I'm a dancer, so you should support me. You know, no, I don't. For myself, I don't want to use that as a means that you need to give money. If I'm really, really struggling, it would take me a while before I would actually reach out to people about that to let them know. And once they see that, like, oh gosh, that's actually serious, because Roxanne never asks for money from people, then, you know, they're like, hey, let's do a GoFundMe account, you know, and let's try to raise some money to help her. But other than that, no.
Artists are just like always in need of money. We're just, you know, starving artists. This is like a very noble profession. We still get up every day and we just keep going just because, like, we feel like we, you know, love this art form so much and we want to share it. I'm like, I always feel bad asking for money in that kind of way. I mean, if they did see a performance and we'll say, hey, you know, if you enjoy the performance, you know, please make a donation. Like, I think that is a lot better way to go about it, so that they can actually see, you know, what their money is being put into. So I think that is a much better way than asking, hey, I'm working on this thing, you know, like, people need to see something first and, you know, be inspired. And that's when they want to help. They're like, oh my gosh, yes, I see your vision. I see, you know, everything that you stand for. Like, I want to help you now. Which is why you always need, not grants, but most of the company's money is from sponsors. That's how you get sponsors.